Right, welcome, folks. It looks like Doctor Who showrunner Russell T Davies is leaving. Doctor Who's Russell T Davies says there are conversations about the next showrunner. All right, then. Also got some sort of background information on this as well, and how Disney are trying to leverage. They're trying to get Russell T Davies out, and there's a lot of background stuff going on here. So I'm going to relay that in a second. But yeah, I mean, Russell T Davies looks like he's leaving. So, interesting. I mean, not really. The guy absolutely destroyed... Well, Doctor Who was destroyed anyway, but he just decided to piss on its corpse, I guess. So we're going to take a look at this. It just corroborates loads of previous information about Doctor Who being dead, being essentially just kind of in the gutter. So hit subscribe if you are new here or indeed a returning viewer. But let's take a look. So this is on the Radio Times, which is basically the mouthpiece of the BBC. So it's not like some weird... I mean, it's biased towards them, but it's not biased outside of them. But it says this. So when the time came for former Doctor Who showrunner Chris Chimballs to pass over the reins, few predicted his replacement would be Russell T Davies, who made an unexpected return to the show several years after his previous stint. Yeah, I think people were expecting it to be good, but yeah, he wasn't happy about that, was he? Didn't want to please people. Now, with his second full season back at the helm approaching, some fans are already wondering who might be next in line for the top job. And this was a topic that came up during Davies' recent appearance on David Tennant's podcast. After Davies joked on David Tennant Does a Podcast With that he, quote, won't go back a third time at any point in the future, Tennant teased that he hadn't thought he'd go back a second time either. That's very true, but I'm not getting any younger, darling, Davies said. But I will need to slow down at some point. That'll come. Last time it was Stephen Moffat who replaced me. That wasn't even a day's work. Like, right, off you go. There's thinking about that. There's conversations about that. But it's hard. It's a tricky one. But they better exist. Imagine I'm dead at the desk. The cliche would kill me. Okay. So that's interesting. That is interesting. There are discussions about him leaving in the BBC. Now I'm going to read out some information that I've got, which is linked to this, which I think you guys might find highly entertaining anyway. So Disney are apparently still thrashing it out about renewing the contract. So that's still going on. They need more, it's all about more funding, basically. The BBC and the Disney. The BBC are getting nervous because obviously there's no Christmas special filmed. They normally do that in advance. That is, you could try and argue with the other things. That's not an arguable thing. They normally do the Christmas specials quite in advance. There's also no plans for a Christmas special yet, which is not good. Ncuti Gatwa, his regeneration has been filmed already, which corroborates with this information further anyway, is that Disney in their negotiations are actually going to be leaving this until the very last minute. So the agreement was meant to be extended at the end of summer 2024. Then they said an agreement would be made after the Christmas special airs. Now they're saying that they'll have to make a final decision when they see how Season 2 reaction has been received. See if it's as terrible as the first one. So Disney have apparently created some new red lines with respect to all of this, which is interesting. They want a new Doctor and a new showrunner. That's Disney's demands, which means Russell T Davies must go if the BBC want to fund the show. Now, that doesn't mean the BBC have to fall out with Russell T Davies, but it does mean that he has to go. Because obviously Disney have probably just gone, why am I funding this? Which makes sense. So a new showrunner is then going to be decided between both parties. And then obviously we now have this information. Now, top runner for that, is Michael Sheen. They want Michael Sheen not as the showrunner, as the next Doctor. That's who they want as the next Doctor. Which I like Michael Sheen. I think he'd be a good Doctor. He's actually been asked before, said no. However, of course, if Disney come on board, there's obviously a lot more pay. Pay's not really something that tends to motivate him that much, to be fair, these days. So I don't know if that would motivate him. But apparently they want Michael Sheen, which he would be a good pick. Now, as for showrunners, the BBC have said that they would like Toby Whithouse. Whithouse. But Disney apparently are making a shortlist to then hand over to the BBC. So make of that what you will. Basically, if we see a new actor for the Doctor, which is going to be leaked to the papers, it means that Disney is going to be funding more Doctor Who. So if you start hearing Michael Sheen in talks, Michael Sheen has been cast, Disney has funded more Doctor Who. If you don't see a new Doctor being leaked, Disney hasn't funded it, and it's unlikely, that this will continue. But we'll get to some more information on that in a second. So any official announcement will obviously come after season 2. So the TARDIS set is still standing, and it's still standing. So if they get a new actor, they can film the regeneration scene in the TARDIS. And obviously that would need to be done so they could then track it for the end of the episode of season 2. Now, what's the other information? Well, guys, the other information was this, which was handed to me. So here it is. I know for sure something was up when it was announced that Russell T Davies was doing a new Channel 4 show. So, yeah, talking about new Channel 4 shows. Talking about leaving. Talking about new shows. That's going to take up to 6 to 8 months to film. So, probably no new Doctor Who until the early 2028 at the earliest. If the BBC still wants him to showrun, or for Bad Wolf to continue making it, I heard some things which might indicate Bad Wolf is done with Doctor Who. I mean, I've talked about Bad Wolf being done, but alright. So, there's this. This is interesting. Here's the post to which I was referring to. It's now deleted. Hello, friends. After 3 years of mainly filming lots of fun things for Doctor Who, I'm now back on the freelance market for all your TV and online content filming needs. Here's my new improved showreel. If you're interested in watching, please hire me. I've got all the gear and loads of ideas. This individual was doing the sort of like behind the scenes stuff, the after hours of Doctor Who, but now that's deleted. That's been taken down. It's been deleted. Also, Shooter Gatwa has removed that he is the Doctor from his bio. Like he had like number 15 or something like that there. That's gone. So, I don't know. Interesting. He removed number 15 from his bio. Russell T Davies talking about a new show he's doing. It's going to take time. Talking about replacements. They're setting it up to cancel it, aren't they? The eventuality of it being cancelled. Alongside potential more funding. But likelihood more to be cancelled. So there you go. There's my news. What do you guys think? Russell T Davies is out. Effectively, he's out as the showrunner of Doctor Who. He's already moving on to a new show. And then, of course, he's talking about a replacement. So what do you guys think? Let me know down below. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.